YouVersion app, Amplified Bible, Classic Edition, Matthew 19. Now when Jesus had finished saying these things, he left Galilee and went into the part of Judea that is beyond the Jordan. And a great throng accompanied him, and he cured them there. And Pharisees came to him and put him to the test by asking, "Is it lawful and right to dismiss and repudiate and divorce one's wife for any and every cause?" He replied, "Have you never read that he who made them from the beginning made them male and female? And and said, for this reason a man shall leave his father and mother and shall unite firmly joined inseparably to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. And they are no longer two, but one flesh. What therefore God has joined together, let not man put asunder or separate." They said to him, "Why did Moses command us to give certificate of divorce and thus dismiss and repudiate a wife?" And he said to them, "Because of the hardness, stubbornness, and perversity of your hearts, Moses permitted you to dismiss, repudiate, and divorce your wives. But at the beginning it has not been so ordained. I say to you, whoever dismisses, repudiates, divorces his wife except for unchastity, who marries another commits adultery, and he who marries a divorced woman commits adultery." The disciples said to him, "If the case of a man with his wife is like this, it is neither proper nor advisable to marry." But he said to them, "Not all men can accept this saying, but it is for those to whom the capacity to receive it has been given. For there are eunuchs who've been born incapable of marriage, and there are eunuchs who have been made so by men, and there are eunuchs who have made themselves incapable of marriage for the sake of the kingdom of heaven. Let him who is able to accept this accept it." Then the little children were brought to Jesus, and that he might put his hands on them and pray. And the disciples rebuked those who brought him. And he said, "Leave the children alone. Allow the little ones to come to me, and do not forbid or restrain or hinder them, for of such as these is the kingdom of heaven composed." And he put his hands upon them, and then went on his way. And behold, there came a man up to him, saying, "Teacher, what excellent and perfectly and essentially good deed must I do to possess eternal life?" And he said to him, "Why do you ask me about the perfectly and essentially good? There is only one who is good, perfectly and essentially God. If you would enter into the life, you must continually keep the commandments." He said to him, "What sort of commandments, or which ones?" And Jesus answered, "You shall not kill, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal, you shall not bear false witness. Honor your father and mother, and you shall love your neighbor as you do yourself." The young man said, "I have observed all these from my youth. What still do I lack?" Jesus answered him, "If you would be perfect, that is, have that spiritual maturity and accompany self-sacrifice character, go and sell what you have and give to the poor, and you will have riches in heaven, and come to be my disciple. Side with my party and follow me." And when the young man heard this, he went away sad, grieved, and so much distressed, for he had great possessions. And Jesus said to his disciples, "Truly I say to you, it would be difficult for a rich man to get into kingdom of heaven. Again I tell you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man to go into the kingdom of heaven." When the disciples heard this, they were utterly puzzled, astonished, and bewildered, saying, "Who then can be saved from eternal death?" But Jesus looked at them and said, "With men this is impossible, but all things are possible with God." Then Peter answered him, saying, "Behold, we have left our all and have become your disciples, sided with your party and followed you. What then shall we receive?" Jesus said to them, "Truly I say to you, in the new age, the Messianic rebirth of the world, when the Son of Man shall sit on the throne of his glory, you who have become my disciples, sided with my party, and followed me, will also sit on 12 thrones and judge the 12 tribes of Israel. And anyone and everyone who has left houses or his brothers and sisters or father or mother or children or lands for my name's sake will receive many, even 100 times more than, and will inherit eternal life. But many of you now are first to be last then, and many of who now are last will be then first then."